And a good day to you, Explore Nation. John Linsky, your ambassador for Alumni Affairs, here with Season 6, Episode 16 of Looking Back with Linsky. This one's really different. This is an episode of first and best and best and first. The first time we've ever had current students on the show. First time we've had twins on the show, for that matter. And best, yeah, we could go on and on and on. National title, 4 state titles, McDonald's All-American, Gatorade Player of the Year, FIFA gold medals. We can just do commitments. We can keep going and going and going. Everybody knows who you are, so it's a real pleasure to welcome Cameron and Cayden Boozer to the show. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you for being here. First jerseys retired in the history of the school. There's so many things. And so, 4 years, graduate next week. Is it starting to sink in a little bit?
A little bit for sure.
Yeah.
I think my mind's not still fully wrapped around it because, we haven't walked the stage yet, but it is crazy. It's gone by super fast. So, but it's been an amazing time here.
Yeah, it's been crazy for sure. Obviously, it's been 4 amazing years, and seeing it almost basically be the end next week. So it's a crazy feeling, and just cherishing all the memories that we had here and trying to make some more memories before we go on that stage next week.
Absolutely. They say the days are long, but the years are short. And so it's all of a sudden, here we are, it's the end. But let's go back to the beginning, okay? Do you guys remember the first time you heard of Columbus High School?
I think it was in middle school. So we used to be at Westminster Christian School when we were in middle school, and obviously some of the kids at Westminster were got to transfer to Columbus because they had parents that went there, or so we heard about it a little bit. Obviously, we didn't know what it really was. We knew that they called it the Brotherhood. We didn't understand what that really meant, but we heard a little bit of it, but. Obviously, being here for 4 years just changes our perspective on it. It's truly is a brotherhood, and like everyone says here, you can't really explain it until you actually feel it.
Yeah.
So, it's been an amazing 4 years, and just it's crazy to think that when I first thought of Columbus, it was interesting to even consider going to an all-guys school, and then now it's been the best 4 years of my life.
Yeah, how did the all guys thing strike you at first?
I definitely thought it was weird. We weren't really used to it, but once you come to the school, you understand that it is different, but I think it's a blessing, and you can't really compare a co-ed school to an all-boys school. It's not really the same experience. So
why do you think it's a blessing?
I just think kind of the camaraderie and the brotherhood is something that you really build here. And when people talk about brotherhood and being able to rely on each other, it's a real thing. I think, there's nothing wrong with co-ed schools. I just think it's a very different experience. And once we experience kind of the Columbus lifestyle, I wouldn't want to experience anything else.
It's actually easier to be in an all-boys school. There's no distractions. The girls are available after school. But when you're in school, it's sort of like being in a frat house to a certain extent, and that's how we run. And it makes things, I think, as a teacher particularly, it's easier for a teacher when you're only dealing with guys.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about, you get here, talk about Andrew Moran, Coach Moran, and the impact he's had on your lives.
He's had an extreme impact on my life. He was really the first person to believe in me, that besides people in my family, to believe in the goals that I had and trust that he could get me to that level that I wanted to be at. And just having him in my corner for these last 4 years has been amazing. Obviously, he's taking his next step to coaching in college, which is a great feat for him, and I'm super proud of him. But just the trust and the relationship we built over 5 years, because he was my coach before I got here. Mm-hmm. So just that trust, and this is someone I know I can always call no matter what, and he'll be there for me in a second. So, just the relationship with him is it's something I'm really lucky to have, and I know a lot of athletes don't really have that connection with their coaches. So I've just been really blessed to have the people in my life that I have.
Kim.
I mean, I'd say a lot of the same things. We've known Andrew for a long time, even before he started coaching us. I mean, we've known him since we were little kids with hoop school and everything, and even some trainings on our own. He's been a part of our life for a really long time, and I think he's someone, like Cayden said, who supported us and believed in us, and who's really had that same vision. And me and him, we've had our fair share of battles and things. Cayden can attest to that, but it comes from a place of love and a place of passion and competitiveness, and I think we share a lot of the same goals, and I love him, and he's been a huge part of my life for sure.
You can't be a competitor and you can't succeed without being passionate, and that's part of coaching, and it's part of playing, you know. And let's talk about your experience. You guys won 114 games in 4 years. That's insane. A lot of talent, sure. The good news is there's a lot of talent here. The bad news is there was a lot of talent here, because with basketball, what it comes down to, 5 guys, 1 ball. You know, talk about how Coach Moran got you guys, everybody, to subjugate their egos to a greater good. Because that's not, we've all seen very talented teams implode because somebody wants to be the guy all the time.
Yeah, like you said, we had a lot of talent, but that's not always a great thing. It took a lot of sacrifice. There's guys in our team who could probably go somewhere else and be the man, but they decided to come here and sacrifice because they had the same goals that we've had, to win a state championship, to win a national championship. And at the end of the day, it took everybody buying in. And like you said, it takes a great coaching staff to get so much talent to buy in. There's so many teams that even we faced, and other coaches have talked about it, where there's the talent kind of ends up colliding with each other and crashing. And I think our staff's done a great job of managing that, but also it comes from the players as well. The coaches are the ones who instill the characteristics and who instill the goals and everyone buying in, but then the players are the ones who have to accept it and really, I guess, buy in and do it, you know? So, but we've had an amazing group of guys that come through this school the last 4 years, and an amazing staff, and it's been a collective of both that has made us so great. So,
yeah, I mean, I feel like, well, when we first got here, obviously the year prior, they made it to the regional final. They had a really tough loss to a Western team.
Yep.
And I think the whole freshman year, like, the whole team knew that we were good enough to make it to a state championship. And even though we were a young team and maybe underdogs in a way, we all knew that was our goal. And everyone put their pride to the side, and the coaches pushed us to take that next step, because obviously winning a regional final and winning a state final is 2 completely different things and 2 really hard things to achieve. So, I mean, we've had 4 really good teams with great guys, guys like Kevin Noriega, Malik Abdullahi, people that are succeeding in what they're doing now. And I mean, we've had a lot of good teams, a lot of great people on those teams that would do anything for the school and to help our team succeed. And I feel like that's intensified over the years. Obviously, the first year we got to the state championship, and we just wanted to win. Like, we wanted to win so bad. And as when we did it, the next 2 years, we continued to want to do that, because obviously when you get there, you're basically addicted to winning. And then this year, we kind of had a newer group, a lot of transfers, and we kind of had to start over in a sense, because the years prior we had people coming back, and we kind of built that foundation. But this year we kind of had to start over, and everyone on this year's team really bought in, and they trusted the coaches, and we trusted each other, which is the most important thing, and that's the reason we succeeded the way we did this year.
Well, you just said trust. The thing is, with a team, being a good teammate, what's your definition of a good teammate?
I just think someone who instills confidence in their teammates, someone who's there for their teammates, whether it's bringing energy, whether it's pulling them to the side and talking them off the court. I just think it's everybody having the same goals and uplifting each other. Because, I mean, I feel like all coaches can attest to the feeling of having dead weight on a team. It's terrible. And I think being a good teammate means whether you're the last guy on the team or you're the guy on the team, you're uplifting each other and you're pushing towards, I guess, just the team being better. I feel like that's my definition of a good teammate.
I think my definition is just doing whatever you can to help the team win. Obviously, there's some individual goals that you always want to achieve, but in those individual goals, if you're a good teammate, you believe in the people around you, you're going to reach the individual goals you want while having team success as well. So I feel like believing in your teammates, trusting them, and knowing that if it's their day, just like keep feeding them, keep believing in them. And I feel like that's something that's it's hard to learn until you're in a team setting where you might not be in the role that you always wanted to be in, and you have to just trust in the people that are around you, because they'll lift you up and you'll lift them up. So I mean, I just feel like being a good teammate is just trusting the people that are around you.
Trust is everything. Now, based on that, is it okay at times to be selfish as a teammate? Because as you said, to lift everybody up, because there are times someone's got to do it. And, you know, everybody wants the ball when you're up by 20. Game's on the line, that's a little bit different. And both of you have had your moments. And did you feel, you know, you go down the lane for a slam right at the end of regulation, your step back jump from the top of the key. I could go on and on. When do you sense it's time for me to take over?
Well, I feel like it kind of just happens within the flow of the game. It's not about being selfish necessarily. I think, like you said, we had a lot of talent, and with talented teams, everyone on the team has a certain amount of freedom.
Okay.
And with that freedom, you have to still play for the team to succeed and not necessarily for yourself. Something that someone told me, I forgot who told me this, but when you play for the name on the front of your jersey, the name on the back looks really good. And I don't think it's about being selfish. It's about being aggressive and not deferring, while also playing for the team and playing to win. So I think there are times where you have to kind of step up and take over, but it's not about forcing it. It's about playing within the flow of the game.
Very good. Cayden?
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't say you have to be selfish in any moment. I just think, at least for me, I never shy away from those moments. So obviously, when we're talking about the step back, I mean, I like to take charge in those moments. That's just the kind of person I am. I like the big moments. So, and obviously, my team trusted me to have that shot, because they've seen me work on it so much, and they know it's a shot that they know that could go in, and they believe in that. So, I mean, it's just a full team trust for to just tell the guy, hey, it's your moment, and we need you to step up. So I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously it might look selfish to an outside perspective, but when we're in the trenches with these guys in practice and just working on these moments the whole year, we're bet on these moments by each game and each practice. You kind of know what to do when you're in those moments, because we prepared for it the whole year.
Well, you stepped up with that step back. Yes, you did. But you mentioned the word trust. One of the greatest examples of that is Andrew didn't call timeout. He let you guys play, and you did it. You know, and another thing about the team, and over the last 4 years, everybody can score. But you guys were a defensive-oriented team. So much of your offense was created off of defense. It's hard to get kids that can score to buy into defense. And I think that was one of the most impressive things about you guys. The amounts of points generated off of defense, off of turnover, steals, et cetera, was amazing. And that takes hard work. And Andrew instilled that in you.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like you said, a lot of that comes from our coaching staff. Something that we've always talked about and always put first was defense. Because at the end of the day, defense wins championships. I think anyone who plays basketball at a high level will tell you that. Because when you get to a certain level, every team has talent. Every team has players that can score. Every team has a guy that can put up 20 points a night. It's more about, but at some point it's like, what's going to separate you? And that's always been defense for us. So, like you said, Andrew's instilled that in our group, and we drilled that over and over in practice, and it's paid off for us.
Yeah, I mean, I think our whole team wants to win, and we're competitors, and at the end of the day, obviously for scoring, we're going to be in close games, but I think that's always going to help us win is defense, because like you said, defense wins championships, and without playing defense and taking pride on that side of the court, you're going to win some games, you're going to lose some games. So taking pride in that and truly working on that, taking just like believing in your defense and making that the foundation of the team is going to help us win as much championships as we can.
It was fascinating to watch you guys, because it would get to that point where the flip would switch and the switch would flip, and you guys, all of a sudden, the defense the other team collapsed. They couldn't bear under the pressure anymore. And that's a credit to young high school kids to play that hard. We could keep going about all that stuff, so let's just take a moment. Basketball, the game. When I think of basketball is a beautiful game, and it's a joyful game. It's not like football. It's not like the other sports, because basketball, what do you need? You need a hoop, a ball, and a pair of sneakers. You can shoot by yourself, 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3, half court, full court, 21, whatever. There are so many different iterations of basketball. How much joy did you have as kids, just with the ball in the backyard, whatever, just 3, 2, 1, game winner, like everybody that's ever shot a basketball has done? And would that type of thing, I know a lot of people, myself included, like to go shoot just to clear your head, just to relax, get away. And you can't do that with any other sport. How enjoyable is basketball to you guys still? I mean, it's a big deal now, but do you still find pure joy in the game?
I mean, of course you do. I don't think we would play at this level if we didn't love the game. Love is kind of the main thing that drives us, because if you don't love what you do, then why are you doing it? And so, but like you said, from the early ages, I mean, some of our early memories of playing basketball at the Boys and Girls Club, when we're not even really playing the game, we're just kind of running around and high-fiving the crowd and just having fun, because, like you said, kind of the love for the game. And it's something that, like you said, people do as a hobby. They just go and play with their friends. They go and shoot by themselves, but we get to do that every day, kind of as our job. So it's a blessing for sure, and there's for sure a lot of love in the sport.
I mean, there's a lot of love for basketball. Obviously, when I was younger, I'd even play basketball in my room, just on the little mini hoop, and if I would miss the shot, I would set the timer back 10 seconds and try to recreate like some crazy game winner. And obviously that love is the reason that I started playing the sport. But when I started playing it, I fell in love with it, fell in love with winning, the camaraderie you have with your teammates, and just the highs and lows of basketball. Whether you're winning or losing, you're always going to have fun. And I just feel like even now, like, I'm just having even more fun, because I get to do it for, hopefully I can make it my profession as an NBA player. Mm-hmm. It's always been a dream of mine. So being able to see the success now and see what basketball has brought me to now and what it can bring to my future, it just keeps me motivated and keeps me wanting to play even more and more. So I don't think the love of basketball will ever die for me.
Any interest in any other sports? Your brother Kamrani's a pitcher. You guys ever get into anything else?
We played baseball until we were 12.
Okay.
We played football for a year. Me and my older brother played hockey. We did soccer. So we played a bunch of different sports growing up.
Because I know Dunn would have loved to have had you as a tight end. So there's no question. You would have been a great wideout, But I think
he tried a few times.
Yeah, I imagine he did. You guys travel a lot, an extraordinary amount for high school kids. So, road trips. What are your essentials? What do you bring on the road with you that you must have?
I mean, obviously the jersey, the shoes, toiletries. I think some Columbus gear like sweats, shirts, shorts. It's probably all socks, underwear.
Yeah, what he said, gotta bring my headphones because I always gotta watch a show in the room. I don't know. I mean, our teams in the past used to bring like the little Apple TV. So
Okay.
sometimes we would watch movies, but I mean, just the basic things.
Go-to restaurant on the road.
Oh, pregame meal is definitely Chipotle.
Yeah, our pre meal is definitely
Yeah.
Chipotle.
Okay.
After for dinner, we always try to make the coaches go to Outback, but they don't like the idea too much. But it's what we always try to do.
Who doesn't like Outback? I mean, come on. You know?
Exactly.
You want to go in a time machine for a minute? Let's do this.
Possibly.
Okay. Your dad was pretty good. Let's face it. Okay. If you and your dad could be the same age, how would you play your dad?
I mean, that's a tough question to answer. I think
Yeah.
it depends how the game's going. I mean, I'd have to do a real deep breakdown and get a scout report to answer that. But, I mean, he was a great player in his own right.
He was.
A two-time All-Star, had an amazing career, so he'd probably be a tough cover, but I'd for sure do a great job on him.
You take him outside, right?
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
All right. Let's go into the present. How would you play Kevin Durant? How would you play Jason Tatum? Because the game's different. I don't think your dad took a three-point shot his entire career.
Well, he probably did, but not that many.
Not that many, because
Yeah.
he was down low. That the NBA was in transition during that time, you know, where the three-point shot was coming in. And now you got guys, they just all night long. So how would you play somebody like KD or Tatum that can take you outside with no problem?
I mean, Kevin Durant's one of the best scorers of all time.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's a really tough cover. I think it's just making him the goal for those guys when you're one of the best players, just making them uncomfortable. At the end of the day, a great player is going to score. I mean, you watch what the Rockets did with Curry, where they denied him the whole game, and he still had multiple games with 30 points. So I think it's just you got to make it as tough as possible for them, make them uncomfortable, and alter his shots. So.
Okay. So there's a lot of physical guards in the NBA right now. There's Brunson, there's Moran, there's, you know, guys that are really, really tough inside. How would you play a guy like Brunson?
Well, just trying to make him uncomfortable. Obviously, he's a tough shot maker.
Yeah.
And if you were watching the playoffs, he's closing out every game, even if he's having a really bad game for those three quarters.
Yeah.
So just trying to make it tough on him. Obviously, he does a lot of pump fakes. He's a very smart player. So trying to stay down, not make too many mistakes, and give him easy ones at the free throw line. Just trying to make his shots tougher. Obviously, I'm a little bit taller than him, so I can contest those shots. He might make a few, but just trying to make it as difficult as I can.
What would you do against Steph Curry? Try to do.
He's tough because he's always moving. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's good.
With a lot of those guards, if they're not on the ball, they might not be doing as much, but he never stops moving. So, like everyone that's guarded him says, like they're always tired after. Just try to.
Do you think you would be tired?
I would be extremely tired.
Yeah,
Really,
exhausted.
really tired.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to run him off the line as much as I can because when he hits 1-3, he's just gonna keep going. So trying to run him off the line and make him take tough twos. But he's a tough cover. That's why he's
Why Steph Curry,
that's why Steph
Yeah,
Curry
of course.
arguably one of the best point guards in the game.
best shooter probably ever.
No, definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. Let's talk a little Columbus, shall we? We can keep going on basketball, but so you get here. We talked about the all-boy thing. How long do you think it took you guys to adapt to the atmosphere of this school? There's a lot of energy in this place, obviously. There's always something happening. How long do you think it took?
I don't think it really took that long. Obviously, we had some friends that were here that we knew before Columbus, so it was kind of easy to adjust to. And honestly, the people at Columbus, they make it easy. Everyone's really their authentic self because, like we said before, there's not really distractions. It's an all-guys school. You can truly be yourself.
Yeah.
So at probably a month or two to really adjust to being a Columbus student and just being a Columbus guy. I mean, it doesn't really take that much to do. You just have to.
No, there's not a lot of effort into
It's not really a lot of effort. You just have to really be yourself.
Yeah, I'd probably say around a quarter. Yeah, like Cayden said, everyone here is very welcoming. Everyone's really authentic, so it doesn't take long to adapt. It's a different environment, so you have to get used to it.
This place can't be explained. It can only be experienced.
For sure.
That's a fact. But there's always something going on.
Yeah.
Something is happening at any given moment. What's your favorite time of the day at Columbus?
Lunchtime.
Lunchtime?
Yeah.
What's your go-to at lunch?
Probably one of the food trucks.
Yeah.
Whatever's out there.
Do you ever eat in the cafeteria?
Oh, sometimes, yeah. Sometimes. I mean, I always eat inside the cafeteria, but whether I eat...
The food inside.
Yeah, I do.
Chop Shop's pretty good.
Chop Shop's pretty good. Chop Shop's pretty good. I like the tacos personally.
Okay.
I think the pep rallies, they're just there's so much energy and like they're just obviously the little games that we play they're fun and they make a good laugh, but just the energy, even when we had it on the field, obviously our first year we had a few pep rallies, so
it's hard on the field, but yeah,
it's hard on the field, but we still bring the energy no matter what. So I think the pep rallies, just having everyone there together with basically the same energy and just that camaraderie that the Brotherhood is all about.
Mr. Marinelli's really good at pep rallies. He gets people going. Most challenging class you had here?
Ooh, definitely Miss Taylor, AP Environmental.
Oh yeah,
she pushes you. And
yeah.
Obviously, she's a really good teacher, and the class is pretty difficult, and she wants to get the best out of you. So that was definitely the class I struggled with the most easily.
Oh yeah, I do the same, Miss Taylor. But I think that's more of a compliment to her and how much, I guess, like she puts into her craft of being a teacher. She feels like if it's not challenging, she's doing us a disservice. So as hard as that class was, I think it was great for both of us.
Okay. What was your most rewarding class? A class you weren't sure about and you ended up walking out of there going, hey man, this was a great class. I mean, there could be more than one.
I don't know. I'm trying to think.
I think for me, I think any of the Dr. Lee criminal law classes or criminal justice classes, because going into it, all I knew was the documentaries that I've watched on YouTube or seen on Netflix. I didn't really know what the law was really about. So just stepping into her office, and she has a law background, really her explaining it and giving us examples and doing some mock trials. It's just, it was a class that I didn't know what I was going to get myself into, but something I really enjoyed, and a hobby I like to watch if I'm in my free time. So just she taught me a lot about the law and just a lot about how the criminal mind, just how they act and what goes on in a criminal's mind when they make all these crazy mistakes that they do. Well, not mistakes, but these things that they do.
Things they shouldn't do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just her class it was really rewarding and really just such an intriguing class that you don't really get at a lot of other high schools.
I'm going to come down to it in a second. Did you come up with anything?
Yeah, I'd probably say a corazon class.
Oh, okay.
I think just because it's something that I would really use in the real world. I took personal family finance and introduction to entrepreneurship or some, I forgot the exact name, but entrepreneurship class. So those are two classes that I learned a lot from that I'll be using throughout my whole life. So,
well, yeah, you both just said it. Okay, let's just say you never play basketball or basketball will end one day. What does interest you outside of basketball? Because, yeah, it's like a job now, but What could you envision doing other than being a basketball player? Because both of you are more than basketball players.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think I could see myself running a business. I don't know what that business would be, but if not that, I think I could also get into probably something on the analytical side of basketball, or being like, I don't know the word, like a broadcaster for basketball, something like that. I think probably one of those would be the realm I would go into if I wasn't a basketball player.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, running a business is my main thing. Obviously, since I've played basketball and I've been around it for such a long time, I feel like I would do something like how Andrew's done with Miami Hoop School, something similar to that. That's something that I would want to do. It's just another thing that I'd want to do that's not as big of a thing, just giving back, being someone that for the community. Because obviously, me and Cameron, we've been blessed to be in a really fortunate situation where our parents are comfortable, but not a lot of people have that situation, whether they're in orphanages or just they're struggling. So being someone that's a role model in the community, and just with the resources that I have, being able to give back to those that are less fortunate is just something I've always wanted to do.
Well, that's a credit to your mom and dad. And I think it's also a credit, because I think one thing we stress at this place is service, and not everybody. What's great about this place is we are not an elitist school. It's pretty clear. You've got people from all economic backgrounds. You've got billionaires who send their sons here, and you've got construction workers that send their sons here. But at the end of the day, we're all explorers. And there's nothing more gratifying than seeing, the best player on the football team eating lunch with a kid from the drama department. I mean, that doesn't happen in other places. And I think that's something we all enjoy. But the service aspect on them, that's a great answer. You went to Westminster, and then you came to a Catholic school. How important is a religious background and spirituality to you guys?
I mean, it's huge. Something that's been instilled in us since we were little. Our mom's someone whose faith is super strong, and it's been a backbone for us. We try to put God first in everything, and we try to do everything as if we're doing it for the Lord. Obviously, we're not the perfect Christians. No one is, but
No one is.
Yeah, but it's a huge part of our life, and we try to make Him the center of it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, God and our faith is a really important thing to us. Something that our mom's always instilled in us, and I mean, she was the reason we got baptized when we were younger. And obviously, Westminster is a Christian school. Obviously, a Catholic school, it's a little bit different, but obviously the same values of putting God first and putting the people around you first. And I feel like if you have a good faith base, you're going to have a chance to be a really good person and be somebody that can be impactful for the people around you. And I feel like they all co-aligns with having God in your life.
Some of your funnier moments here, the random stupidity that happens at this place. Are there any moments that stand out to you in the hallway, in the cafeteria, in the parking lot? Things happen.
Honestly, I think it's when our teachers are doing the walkathon little games in the class to raise money. Whether it's so some teachers do like knockout, or like they're just shooting and then they put it, or I mean, some teachers play like baseball. Like it's a funny time.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've had a lot of good memories in all my classes during walkathon and those games.
Yeah, I'd probably say the same thing. There's been a lot of fun, competitive times during walkathon and with those games, whether it's ping pong or a golf game or basketball or something like that. There's just been a lot of funny memories from the competitive spirit that comes within that week. So,
and I think it helps that we have 50 alumni working here. I think we perpetuate from generation to generation.
Yeah, for sure.
The guys that taught me, and then yada yada, and we pass it on down. we're in the locker room. And to a lot of people that have never been in the locker room, they don't understand what an important place it is. And, you know, talk about the value of a locker room to team chemistry.
Well, I think there's a lot of things that happen behind closed doors within a team.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what makes a team stronger, what brings a team closer together. You go through tough moments together, and you prevail through those moments. And you, instead of kind of dismantling, you come closer together and you become stronger. So I think a lot of what happens behind closed doors in the locker rooms, in the office, I think is huge for a team's success.
I mean, I think the locker room is really where we have our most honest conversations. Obviously, in practice, we're just talking about whatever we're doing in practice, and in games, you're reacting to what's going on in the game. But I feel like in this locker room, it's just where, as a team, we really have our most honest conversations, whether it's about things that we don't like or things we feel like as a team we need to do better. I feel like we communicate everything and leave everything. We don't leave anything out in the air or out in the open.
Gotcha.
We're in this locker room. We make sure that everything that we have on our chest, we make sure we get it out there so we don't have any problems. So I feel like that's just really the biggest thing, because obviously you build the chemistry when you're playing, but you build the relationships and the brotherhood in this locker room.
You know, because a locker room is stark honesty. There's no one else in here. And to your point, you can be yourselves. It's also the last place you are before the game starts, and it's the first place you come back to after the game ends. So good coaches, good teams create good locker room environments. And so that's why we wanted to shoot in here today, because this is a special place. Yes, talking about goofy things. Music video with student activities. How'd that all come about?
Are you talking about the one for Battle of the Sexes?
Yes.
Oh, well, they were kind of looking for a scene where they were, I forgot what the song was.
It was Uptown Funk.
Yeah, there was a scene where they wanted like a bunch of athletes from Columbus, from a bunch of different sports, kind of just like
Dancing on a car.
dancing on a car. Yeah, so that's kind of how that came about. So,
Did you enjoy it?
yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
It's a classic Columbus thing. Right there.
That's I don't even know. Like, they called me out of class randomly, and they were like, "Louis, we need you to do this." And I was like, "I mean, okay." And then
Okay.
it happened. And I don't know. I think we won whatever category that was. So I mean, the video was good.
That's why you won.
Exactly.
It was classic.
Classic.
You know. What's the most important lesson you learned at this school? Or several important lessons?
I think just not to judge a book by its cover, because obviously,
What do you mean?
because I feel like at other schools there's like, depending on who you hang out with and what you do, there's always a stereotype. So whether you're like an athlete, that's like kind of like how they say in like the movies, like it's like the jocks and
jock, yeah.
the nerds or whatever it is.
Sure.
And I feel like here, since everyone's just being their authentic self, no matter if they're in drama, if they're an athlete, if they just love going to the school, they're great people, and you won't give yourself the chance to know that until you open the book and really open yourself up to all the people and all the great people that are here. So I feel like that's the biggest lesson I really learned here.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really point to one lesson specifically, but I think if I were to talk about one thing that I've learned is that it's beautiful how people from all different walks of life can come together and kind of just join together in this Columbus brotherhood. Like you said, there's people come from billionaire families, there's construction workers, there's athletes, there's people who are going to be coders for video games, and people who are going to be politicians. I think there's such a diverse school, and being able to see how close and how, I guess, everyone can come together, even though we're all going to go through different paths in life and we come from different backgrounds. I think it's a beautiful thing. So,
You know, and one thing we have always stressed, always, it's student athlete. And you guys are prime examples of that because, you know, we're not going to take a kid just because he can, you know, shoot a three or throw a football or a fastball or whatever. You have to produce, and you're expected to produce. And then, you know, once you get in class, okay, yeah, they play basketball, they play volleyball, whatever. But to your point, well, this kid's in the drama club, this kid's in the band, this kid's in esports. Everybody's got their niche here. And I think that has been the biggest change we've had because at one point this was just a sports school, really. Although, you know, our academics were good. But you guys have benefited tremendously from our academics. You could have been Moss scholars. It might have been a bit of a, you know, of an overload with everything you do. But, you know, we try to combine the two as best as possible. And nobody does it better than Mr. Pugh. Mr. Pugh is your principal. What can you say about him?
I think he's a great guy. I've only been to one other school, but he's a unique principal.
Yeah.
He walks into class and he just talks to everyone in the class. When he's in the hallway, he greets everyone, saying, "What's up? How you doing? How you doing?" I think he's a very hands-on principal, and it's something that us at Columbus were very blessed to have for sure.
Yeah.
I think he just, like he just said, he truly cares about each and every student. He makes sure that every student's doing good, making sure that if they need help, he talks to them. I mean, he's just been a great person for me to talk to. Obviously, with our schedule, it's tough to always be in class, and having a principal that's hands-on and so understanding, and he's just a great person to be around. And obviously, he always brings energy, especially at our first orientation, our freshman orientation. I think he was the last person to speak. And you saw the fire in his eyes. And
he brings the heat.
He brings the heat, and he shows that he truly cares about each and every student. And it's something that I never really saw in a principal until I got here, which is I just think it's such a testament to who he is as a person.
Agreed. And you know, when he gets red, when McKeon gets red, something's happening. You know, but everybody at this school cares about their students. And Miss Marty has a question over there. What was your welcome to Columbus moment?
My welcome to I think it was a little later in the year.
Okay.
I think it was the pep rally that Mr. Lamonis came to, and he just stole the show. And he really exemplified what Columbus really is, just that alumni base, and just the camaraderie of the Brotherhood, even from the past explorers and our future explorers and even our present explorers. So I feel like he kind of embodied what an explorer really is, and obviously he had he left in style while declaring no school, but
you tried that.
I tried that. It didn't work. So,
but you tried.
I tried though.
You twice. You guys tried.
It's okay. It happens.
We did try.
Yeah.
My lowest moment was probably just the first pep rally. I think the energy in the building and seeing kind of everyone coming together and Marinelli's energy. I think that was kind of the first time where I saw the Brotherhood and everyone come together and just having fun as kind of a school. So I think that was probably welcome to Columbus moment.
I imagine in your phones, you've got some pretty cool phone numbers, don't you?
I have a couple.
Yeah.
I have a couple.
Yeah. Care to expound on that, or?
Not really.
Okay.
I think
your prerogative.
Yeah, I think it's private. There's a lot of people who give me their phone number just for me to contact if I need anything.
Yeah,
so
I get that.
I mean, I'd rather not name drop and stuff. So
inquiring minds wanted to know. I get that. If I was to ask both of you to sum up what Columbus High School is in a couple words, what would you say?
A couple words. Obviously, Brotherhood is always going to be the first that comes to mind. Excellence.
All right.
I think striving. Striving is one for me, because I feel like everyone here is always striving for a greater good, whether that's being in the community, being a better presence in the community, whether that's our sports or just we're always striving for something new, a new challenge, and bringing light to any situation that's a tough situation. I feel like we just do a really good job of just, I don't know how to explain it, just striving for whatever we feel like we need to do in the community.
Well, that's a great word, striving, going forward, Adelante.
Exactly.
There it is.
I think, like Cayden said, is excellence. I think Columbus is an amazing school, academically and athletically, and I think it prepares everyone who's in the school for the future. I think that's why there's so much alumni success. I'm not sure if this is still a correct stat, but when I first came to Columbus, I remember it was that Columbus had the most alumni that were CEOs of Fortune 500 companies.
That's still a correct stat.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I think, like Cayden said, it shows the excellence and the preparation that Columbus prepares us for moving forward into the next stage of our life.
It's got to be in the water of Westchester, because so many people from this school have gone on to do amazing things. And you guys have been you're the trailblazers for basketball. You've changed the basketball program. One day, we're going to have a new gym, and it's going to be the gym the Boozer brothers built. And we're looking forward to that day. Talk about the future for a minute. This has been a great 4 years. This is now clearly home. But you're onward and upward. So, Duke, how do you guys feel?
I think it's an honor. Obviously,
That's a great word.
being able to go to a school where there's so much history. Obviously, they have 5 national championships and just an amazing alumni base, kind of like here, where there's so many businessmen and women that are so connected in the NBA and even just in really Fortune 500 or Fortune 500 companies. It's an amazing place, and it's just an honor to be able to go to a school like that where I'll be able to continue my academic journey and obviously be able to play for one of the top schools in the nation.
Yeah, I think Cayden nailed it. It's an amazing opportunity. It's one of the best schools in the country. Something that they talk about as well is brotherhood, because, like Cayden said, their alumni base is so strong. And I think we're just super excited for the opportunity that the future holds.
Yeah, you go from one brotherhood to another, basically, and nothing like ACC basketball. So, any regrets about coming here?
No.
Would you change anything?
No. I feel like I've had an amazing 4 years, and obviously there's some ups and downs because sometimes I feel like I could have done a little better in a class or studied a little harder. But I mean, for my experience, there's nothing I would change.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. I don't have any regrets. I think it's been an amazing experience, amazing 4 years. So I'm super proud of what we've done at Columbus, and yeah, I had a great time here. So
Hard not to, right?
yeah, for sure.
And we thank you guys. We also thank your mom and dad for trusting us, because you guys could have gone anywhere, and I think it worked out. So the best of luck to both of you. You have left a mark that very few people have. The notion of retiring jerseys was unheard of at this place, and there you are, and a national championship banner, academic success, 4 straight titles. man, you guys have left your mark, and I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. You got a lot going on, big week next week, all kinds of things, but I've enjoyed it very much. So thank you both. And Explore Nation, thank you for tuning in. Thank you to the Albert Barthélemy family for sponsoring the podcast. And this has been a special one. So until next time, as always, buenos tiempos and adelante. Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you.
Yep.